Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd. It is our weekly recap for Arrowverse. And today we have, of course, 4 shows. We have Superman and Lois, we have Naomi, we have Legends of Tomorrow, and my very last Batwoman review. I am not going to have a Batwoman review after this ever again. So, haha. This is what it is. So let's just get right into it because I have a movie to go to tonight. I'm going to the drive-in to see the Batman. So you'll be getting that review. Heads up, guys. I know you've been messaging me like crazy telling me that Charmed released a season 4 featurette. I do know that. I appreciate it. I actually filmed a short snippet video, so it will be posted sometime today as well. Just a very quick reaction to it. So be on the lookout for that video as well. But let's jump right into Superman and Lois. So this episode, we're still dealing with the fallout with Bizarro falling to Earth. Of course, Clark has our Superman. I always want to call him Clark. Has him at the Fortress of Solitude with his mother, and his mother and him are interrogating him on why he's there. And he basically gives him the story that Allie is evil. You got to destroy the pendant. I mean, that's it. I came here to take her out because she's getting too powerful and she's traveling to my world and she's enslaving everyone. Because you can't just ever be easy. He basically talks about his descent and how he came to Earth and how the sun, because he's the opposite of Superman, which we already know from the comics, that what makes Superman stronger makes him weaker on Earth and vice versa. So, of course, the sun is actually hurting him and not making him as powerful, but he planned to get there because he needed to take out Allie because Allie is evil as hell. Which, honestly, he's not wrong. But I mean, again, because there's the anti-murder clause in the Arrowverse, it's something that Superman doesn't want him doing. But it does put Allie more on Superman's radar because previously this was just a Lois, thing because of, Allie being in charge of a cult and Lucy being, a part of that. And speaking of Lucy, Lucy is brought by Sam because Sam is trying to get his family back together. He wants his daughters to talk to each other. So he brings Lucy to the house and he's like, I'm retirement. I want my family back and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I already knew this was a train wreck because he's like, we're not going to talk about Allie. We're not going to talk about anything, worthwhile. We're not going to work on our shiz. We're just going to be a family. I'm like, yeah, that's going to work. So for a while, Lucy and Lois played nice with each other. She got to, see pictures of the boys, make fun of Jordan's hair a little bit, which I think is funny because Jordan's hair, because Sam tried to relate it to the Pirates of the Caribbean, but of course he never saw that movie. I think Lucy even said if it's not Delta Force, Sam doesn't know what it is. But if you look at Jordan's hair, it is very Death of Superman like hairstyle, like from the 90s. That's the same hair he had when he came back from his hibernation. So I thought that was really funny that they were making fun of it because he got made fun of a lot in the Death of Superman because of that hairstyle. So I think it's really, really funny that Jordan has that hair. But, I'm just throwing it out there. Anyway, so Lucy is like making, she's talking about sports with, the boys, or football with the boys. So apparently she's really knowledgeable about football. She loves spending time with her uncle or her nephews. It actually looked like they were getting their aunt back. But long story short, not to drag this out, of course, Lucy actually starts saying, I'm glad that you basically are seeing things my way, Lois. And Lois is like, what the hell? No, I'm not. And of course, they kind of get into it again. They fall out and then Lucy leaves. It's a thing that's happening because in this episode, we had 2 fallouts with 2 siblings. So we had Lucy fighting with Lois, are not understanding each other. And then we had Jonathan and Jordan. Jonathan is heavily influenced by the kryptonite. I'm calling it the kryptonite X inhaler. He's juicing basically. And, he has a huge game and he ends up, winning the game for the team, making a touchdown. I think he even broke a record. But Jordan figured out because one of the friend that they had at the convenience store in another episode talked about another character being busted for juicing basically. And that the police were involved and Jordan and Jonathan got into it. And Jordan was like 100 trillion% like aggressive. Like actually, how I always joked about Jordan being Brightburn? Jonathan was Brightburn in this episode. He's like, he was ready to take Jordan's ass out. I thought he was going to hit him. Like, I mean, hit him more than he did. I mean, like, take him out. And like, there can be only one. Like, so highly aggressive. And so the twins fighting is interesting. Jordan's in his feelings. He knows now that Jonathan's powers, because Jonathan, he was under the delusion that Jonathan had powers, but it's actually that Jonathan has been juicing to get powers. Now, I'm going to say this. I do not condone drug use or steroids, which is a drug use of any scope. What I have a problem with, and I saw the preview for next week, and I saw how Lois was, questioning Jonathan. And if it goes down the way I think it's going to go down, it's kind of effed up because they always make Jordan feel like he's special because he has powers. And they always make Jonathan feel like he's useless and not special because he doesn't. Sam did it when they were training together. He was like, oh, why don't you go get some water? And then he's like, Jordan, you're special. When you are a twin, especially, that's got to be hard because then you feel like the defective twin. So instead of dealing with the root cause why he's taking these drugs, I have a feeling it's just going to be him apologizing and having self-blame and all of this crap, in terms of how, why did you do this, Jonathan? Why are you so stupid? And blah, blah, blah. Instead of dealing with the fact that he is struggling. I said this in season 1, seeing your father and your brother fly off to go to the Fortress of Solitude and learn more about your family legacy and being Kryptonian, even though you may not have powers, it's kind of effed up that you didn't take both of your children, because why couldn't Jonathan still learn the family history about Krypton? He's still your son. So like, I never understood how they wrote that. And so Jonathan has been kind of crapped on this entire time. I'm just putting it out there. And if he ever finds out that in Crisis, he was the only one, and so technically he was Prime Superboy before Crisis screwed everything up, he can really be in his feelings. So my heart goes out to Jonathan. I feel very bad for his character. He's had to put up with a lot, and hell, he even moved to Smallville because of Jordan's panic attacks, so Jordan could try and fit in somewhere, even though in Metropolis, he had a pretty sweet life. So yeah, I feel bad for him. I feel really bad for Jonathan. And Lois, I'm going to be real with you. My favorite Lois Lane has always been Erica Durance from Smallville. I just loved how she played Lois. I loved her reactions. I loved her sassiness. This Lois Lane is not a bad Lois Lane, but she is perpetually pissed off all the time. Like, she has resting bitch face sometimes, and it drives me nuts. And she's so in her feelings when Jonathan does something, because he was the twin that doesn't have panic disorder, and it's supposed to be more like her, that she seems to go off on him a lot more than she does Jordan, and it actually irritates me greatly. Because Jordan will be in his feelings, and she's like, "What?" He's like, "Whatever," and walks off, and she's like, "Yeah," she yells at him, but not like she yells at Jonathan. And I think that's going to come to pass. I would not be surprised if Jonathan just didn't haul ass, get a bus ticket, and just leave. There's something wrong with Lois Lane in this. She has problems. And so for her to be a mother and not see that is interesting. Something else I wondered, who cleans their house? I know these are random little things, but like, you ever notice that? It's like, if both of your parents technically work, are always off saving the world or doing something, how does the laundry get done? Who's cooking the meals? Like, we see Lois cooking, but like, when does she really have time to do this on a regular basis? So I am so confused on all of that. And I'm hoping that Nat is doing okay, because she's been at the hospital this whole time. And I know they gave her a care package, but I mean, are they still feeding her? I mean, I need to know what's happening with the Kent people and Steele and that. So just throwing it out there. Okay. So besides Jonathan juicing and getting found out by Jordan, and, basically him getting into it with Jordan, and now him and Jordan have a strained relationship. Lucy and Lois having the same strained relationship, because technically Lucy was right. She did go to a bizarro world, but she doesn't understand like that Allie's effing nuts. And she completely was okay with Allie going to the extremes and drugging Chrissy to show her about the other world. So there's a lot to unpack there. There's something wrong with both sets of siblings. I'm like, so yay. Sam just gets on my nerves sometimes. He tries to do these things where he like gets in the middle of stuff. He takes it upon himself to make decisions for a family that he's been told plenty of times before to stay in his lane. Like if they find out he's actually training Jordan, they're going to be effing pissed. So they all need therapists at this point. Everybody needs to be on Linda's couch at Lucifer, and that's pretty much how I feel about that. Now we're talking about Kyle and Lana. This was hard. I felt really bad for Lana. The actress that plays Lana Lang, I mean, she had me in my feelings. I felt so bad for her because not only did she realize or find out that her husband lied to her about being with that woman at the bar, but if you think about it, you know, she's been with him since she was 19 years old. They have 2 kids together. They've gone through a lot together, including Sarah trying to kill herself. And she realized that Sarah's accident was when Kyle decided to commit to his family, not because he loves Lana. I'm not saying he doesn't, but because that was his wake-up call to do what he was supposed to be doing the entire time. And Lana learned this by going to see the woman that Kyle slept with. It's interesting, especially when she talks to Clark, and she asked if Lois cheated on him, would he be able to trust her and love her? And he was like, I would have to if I chose to do that, but I guess it would depend on, you know, the circumstances, like what happened. So that's interesting. What could Lois do cheating wise that he would be like, oh, okay, I can see that circumstances were okay. I don't know. That phrasing with that whole conversation was weird to me. So I don't know. That was strange. But you know, whatever. But Lana made the decision to move on. She's like, I don't know if I love you anymore. And I mean, I guess if somebody told me they cheated on me, like what Kyle was doing, I would have that same issue. So that is a thing. That is a thing. But she said, you need to get your stuff. She's like, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Come get your stuff after the girls goes to school, and make sure my car is not in the driveway before you pick up your shiz. She I bet she was singing that Beyonce song. She started off to the left. Like everything you own in a box to the left. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Kyle and Lana now, because that's hard. And that's really hard to come back from. So I don't really know what's going to happen with that. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something I find very stupid. So let's talk about Anderson. So again, we know how Anderson was in the comics. We know about the Superman, and we know about his obsession with Superman and how he became deflated and, you know, let down by his hero because he keeps saving people that aren't American and blah, blah, blah. So Anderson has a conversation with Clark because one of the women and the Superman team gets killed by Bizarro. And so they're at the funeral, and the mother slaps the hell out of Anderson. And so, you know, Anderson's talking to Superman about trying to find Bizarro. You know, he doesn't know it's Bizarro, but the person that killed his soldier, basically. And Superman's like, that's what I want to talk to you about in private. And I was thinking in my head, oh, hell no, don't do it. So Anderson even knows that Superman does not trust him yet. So explain to me, people, why in God's freaking earth would Superman say, so yeah, I need that pendant because Bizarro, who, by the way, I have in custody in an undisclosed location that you don't know about, told me that it's a threat, and I believe it. So can you give me the pendant and I can destroy? What? Do you know how easy it would be for Superman to say, yeah, remember when I said I wanted to use a pendant to find Bizarro? Yeah, I still need that pendant. I'm going to see if I can find him. Or, I mean, I know people are like, well, Superman doesn't lie. Superman lies every damn day when he doesn't tell people he's Clark Kent. I don't want to hear that shit. Why in the hell would you tell this man that you don't trust all of the shit? And then what happens? Anderson gets approval to hold you for treason and put you in the same damn cell as your brother. I knew it. And why? Because you dumb. I'm like, intelligence is not hard. I don't know why they don't have it, but they don't. So I just had to say it, guys. I don't understand. All of this crap with him would have been avoided had he not told him that he had Bizarro. Anybody here understand? I'm sure you guys do. You're highly intelligent in the chat room. So, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Woo, this is completely stupid. All right. So now he's out. He's out of the ballpark. We have no Clark or Superman now. He's down on, completely under treason. I don't know. So, like, my whole problem with this whole scenario as a whole is that we're all focusing on Superman and Bizarro, blah, blah, and Allie is still out there. And I have a feeling that there are more players in the military that are with her, that are in her cult, that are going to get her that damn pendant. And this is going to be all Anderson's fault. And it's also going to be all of Clark's fault because he's stupid. I'm like, he's dumb. But like Allie is like the Trump of this world. She's out here manipulating, and brainwashing, and those followers are powerful. And she really is a bigger threat than Bizarro. And Anderson doesn't know about this because Clark didn't tell him what's going on. But you told him that you had Bizarro in custody. It don't make any sense to me. Oh, dear Lord. I'm like, guys, I'm in my feelings. I am in my feelings. So I didn't want to be in my feelings with Superman and Lois because, I always pray that the CW writing is not going to creep in, and it always does. And I get so in my feelings. I can't help it. But it's still a hell of a lot better than the show that I am going to review last. So it's completely fine. But yeah. So in a nutshell, we got Clark held for treason. We got Lois and Lucy still at odds over Allie. We have Allie off doing God knows what, but probably something maniacal and sinister and ominous. We got Sam not minding his own damn business once again because he can't. I guess retirement makes you bored. We have Jordan and Jonathan dealing with Jonathan basically giving himself powers through drugs. Instead of it, the people, I'm telling you, instead of them seeing Jonathan, as a cry for help, Lois is going to be in her angry ass feelings again. And Jonathan, don't try it again, especially not today. Bitch, sit down. You know what? I think Jonathan should buy a ticket and leave. He shouldn't even say shit. He should just get on a bus and leave and not tell any of them where he is. And then when they finally find him and they say, oh, well, where have you been? We've been looking everywhere for you. I'm like, really? I didn't seem to be that damn important to you. That's what he should tell them. He should not be the twin that is dumped on because he doesn't have powers. So that is bullshit. And I hate that because that's the one thing that a lot of people that hate Superman always dump on is the fact that, Superman always thinks he's too good than the other characters because he's like, basically invulnerable. And it's not even Superman that's doing it. Technically, he did do it by not taking his son to the fortress, but it's Lois that is literally making her son feel like shit. And it's bothering me greatly. It's Lois, it's Sam, it's everybody else that is doting on the fact that Jordan has abilities and treating Jonathan like he really has no future in anything. It's very, very sad. And if Jonathan does start getting powers, he might become Brightburn in the future. I'm just throwing it out there. So yeah. Just saying. All right, so let's move on to Naomi. Because, we were in another week of unintelligent people. And Naomi was a damn idiot this week, too. I can't. Like, I don't hate this show. It just drives me effing crazy. I can't help it. It's so slow. And then it has a little momentum. It's just stupid. So this week, it's homecoming week. Nathan and Anthony basically get into it because he's making this float and one of the pieces gets sabotaged. So Anthony thinks Nathan did it because he's military and, you're just coming into our town and you don't respect our traditions and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Nathan's like, we bring money to your town. If it wasn't for us, you wouldn't even have shit. So you're welcome. And it's just like they really are getting into it with each other. I told you guys last week that they were going to make Anthony be kind of a dick this week because you have to. So we learned that when Nathan first came to their school, Anthony was supposed to show him around and ditched him basically by third period. And so he was a dick to him. And then, of course, Nathan was a dick in return. And both of them are dicks to each other because both of them are into Naomi because God knows why. She's never around. So I really enjoyed the fact, though, that they actually bonded with each other over the fact that Nathan did not sabotage this, project, and they got to really sit in a room and talk to each other, and both conclude that they did not understand or know each other. And I think that honestly, their little friendship, I'm more excited about than any romance Naomi could have with any of them. I'll be real with you. Having Nathan and Anthony become kind of BFFs actually is pretty cool to me. So I did like that. I liked that they had that moment. They had that, realization. And then they find out later that it was Esme that actually sabotaged it because she wants to win, because it's the only way she can get her daddy's attention. And when they realized that, she's doing this pie drive, they actually end up buying pies from her. And I thought that was really cool, because it could have gone a completely other way, where they could have been like, bitch, we know you did this. We got it on video. So I thought that a whole situation there, like what was going on with them, to me was cool. But I guess my problem is there's so much focus on the side stories in Naomi that we still don't get to the meat of anything. It's just what it is. We don't get to the meat of anything. We get like a little bit of like, oh, what's really happening by the end of the episode? But it's like we had a whole hour, So it's so slow to me. So on top of that, we have two things going on as well. We have D trying to figure out what happened with his love, Quiela. I'm calling her Q. She basically was supposed to meet him. They wanted to leave their, we're going to say, universe, because they got tired of fighting. He said he had heard about poor Oswego first. And he didn't remember why. And I know why in the comic books, but I'm not going to say anything. But I don't know what path they're taking in this, because I'm telling you, Arrowverse is notorious for changing everything. So I don't know Dee's motivation or backstory of how he heard about poor, Oswego in this regard. But he came there first. And then, of course, because it was too dangerous to come together. And then Q was supposed to meet, but she never showed up. And so he found out that this bounty hunter had her on his registry to basically bring in, which gave him hope that maybe, she's alive. So he goes to Lux, who Adam thinks. So Adam was the one that told him he thought that he had information on Q. And so he's like, oh, no, the guy's like, I don't really know anything about it. But then D sees a necklace that has a ring, which is the one that matches his, around his neck. So of course he tries to beat the shit out of him. And then, they get into it. And then finally he says that, on another planet, he was there and Q was there. And, she ended up dying, and he took the necklace from her so that he would remember that he was still alive. Now that could be a completely fabricated damn lie. He could have turned her in for money, whatever. D just kind of accepted that. And I was like, that's weird. And then, of course, the guy brings back like other people to help beat, him and Adams. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, why bother? But, they get into a bar fight, which I think is really funny, because the bartender was like, the rules, only human ability. So I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. So the whole bar scene and D and trying to figure out if his lady was alive, all that's fine and dandy. It's not that I don't think he should have a side story or a story. It's just that so much of it is on the side characters and not enough of it is on Naomi. So it just bothers the hell out of me that we keep, like, I'm getting so much exposition on the friends, the friendships, all of this stuff, but not so much on Naomi and her pretty much trying to figure out where she's from and blah blah blah. Now we did get a little bit. So first Zumbato goes to her parents and threatens them and says, you need to get out of town, it's dangerous. And I'm going to tell you, my biggest fear about this is that Zumbato was like this really badass villain in the comics, and it almost feels like they're making him be her father, her biological father in this. And I really don't want them to do that. But the CW Arrowverse is notorious for rehabilitating villains before they even become villains. So it's like, you already are coming in as a good guy, and you're like literally the whole reason all of Naomi's shit happened in the comics. So it's like, I really hope that's not what's happening. But they're making it seem like Zumbato is connected to her. And we are going to get his backstory next week. I saw it in the trailer. But it almost feels like that's his baby girl. I don't know how to put it to you. That's how they're making it seem right now with the writing. He basically tells the parents, get out of town, get her out of there. You're bringing people here, blah, blah, blah. So he's trying to protect Naomi. He's trying to protect himself. They're like, we don't got to listen to you. Like, it's the way they're like, we don't answer to you. I'm like, no, but you need to answer the fact that you were stupid last week and there were cameras in the lab, but that we haven't had a fallout from that yet. But long story short, Zimbardo technically is correct. So Naomi, for some reason, she was talking to Clark from Superman and Lois, and she decided to go to Star Labs. And at Star Labs, she meets a woman named Dr. Bell. And Dr. Bell does experiments with quantum physics. She has multiverse theories. And so she goes basically there to show her, the alien relic she found so she could try and trace it and see if she can find where she's from, her Earth. But she didn't tell her it's her Earth. The machine that Dr. Bell created, when you walk through it, it detects your energy and can tell whether you're an alien or not. If Naomi was using critical thinking skills and had talked to Dee before she haul-ass did this, she would have realized that trusting random people with who you are is stupid. Like, you can see her trying. You can see the critical thinking bells rolling. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Blah, blah, blah. But no, that's not what happened. So instead, she spilled her shit to this woman, and the woman turned out to want to use her as basically a generator to try and open a portal to travel through the multiverse. Your fault. Your fault. Like, she's a kid, though. I'll give her that. She's supposed to be smarter than this, but I'll give her that. She's a kid. But yeah. And I love how Dr. Bell was like, I've met other aliens. I'm like, oh, you're evil as hell. But she wasn't able to find Earth 29 because she basically proposed that it's in a different multiverse, which tracks because it is. So, I mean, that's completely fine. But the person that ends up saving her in this episode is Zimbardo. And he's like, I should have told you everything. I'm like, I'm done with you people. I'm done. I'm done. So yeah, that's a thing. Which I don't know what the more interesting part of this episode was. The homecoming fiasco and mystery, the fact that her parents are a little badass and are not listening to Zimbardo, or the fact that Zimbardo had to actually save Naomi again, from herself because she makes stupid choices. I need to know where I planet. I need to know where I'm from. I need answers. Yeah, so going to a woman you never met who called you out as an alien and then just spilling the biz, that's definitely what you need to do, especially when she demonstrates to you that she can use different frequencies to control your powers for you. That's scary. So then there's a lot more to Dr. Bell that meets the eye. I really want Naomi's father to be the same alien soldier that he is in the comics. I want that to be a reveal. I want the reason that he's standing up to Dee, standing up to Zimbardo, because he actually can kick everybody's ass. I really want that, because I want the reason that he was on that planet to be the same in the comics, that he was there to hunt down Dee, and they came to a understanding about Naomi. I don't know why we're not getting this. But again, that is an Arrowverse thing and is driving me nuts. But I really want Barry Watson to be a hero, to be the alien kick-ass soldier that his character is in the effing comic books. I do not want him to just be a normal human like what they did with Chester P, which is still stupid on The Flash. I really want him to be kick-ass. I just do. I really do. And I don't know if they're doing it or not. I don't know. But I do think that everything with Greg and Jennifer sounds so cliche to me, because it's like just the parents protecting the alien baby. Do we need to go on the run? Blah, blah, blah. And I think the extra element of Greg being an alien himself would have actually have helped Naomi a lot. And it would also cause a rift between them, because she could say, hey, I've been struggling this whole time and you're an alien. I mean, I would love that. I don't know if that's what they're going to do, but I think that would be very cool. So. But yeah, so there really wasn't a lot to this episode. I mean, we got a little bit of bonding between, Naomi and Annabelle, but they're BFFs. I love how Annabelle calls her babe all the time. I think it's cute. We haven't seen Lourdes in a while, so I guess she's just stuck at the comic book shop. Or Annabelle's cousin, but I don't think he goes to school with them, so that tracks. But yeah, mostly this was Homecoming, kind of focusing a little bit more on Anthony and Nathan's love-hate for each other now. Her not using critical thinking skills, and D trying to find his woman and believing way too quickly that guy was telling the damn truth. So that was Naomi in a nutshell. I mean, that's pretty much it. Legends of Tomorrow, 7th season finale. This one was cool, although it did do something that I really, really thought was funny. So the legends are all meeting every Wednesday, like they said, at John's house in the void from various points in time. I'm assuming months have gone by. And Sarah and Ava are talking about having a baby. When they first meet up, Ava's not ready, but by the second meetup, she is. So none of them know about anything, that happened with Gary and that yet, because he hasn't gotten to them at that point, but he does, because what ends up happening is, because he's an alien, instead of him being sucked in a void of space, he ends up going back to the caveman days. So he's in prehistoric times. So he built a door to put the key in and then go through, and then ends up going to the house. And telling them about, evil Gideon and what's been going on, and how, the Alon that went back with Gwen was a robot. And so now they're like, what the hell? And then they're like, oh no, well, he's going to go back. And by Gary telling them that Alon's death is a fixed point, then there has to be a fixer, which means that Gwen is going to face this fixer and not really realize that it's even a fixed point. And he does. He ends up getting killed. So of course the legends don't want him to die. So they're planning on going back and saving him. Well, we already know something's wrong with Sarah, because when she opens the bubbly that they're about to celebrate with, she cuts her hand and it doesn't heal. So I was thinking, oh shit, is she becoming more human? But actually what's happening is she's pregnant. And what's really funny to me is they literally took something that people used to believe when they were younger and made fun of it, and then made it valid in this world. And that is that you can get pregnant by kissing someone. Because Ava knocked up Sarah by making out with her. So Ava is literally the other parent biologically of the baby that Sarah is now carrying inside of her through making out. And Gary legit said, oh, you guys don't use protection when you make out? So to be clear, I know why people get mad at Gary sometimes. It's because he doesn't give them these little nuggets of what could potentially happen in their lives by being a hybrid alien. So he wasn't like, hey, you guys are going off to bond, fornicate, whatever you're going to do. You might want to be careful, because Sarah is half this species. They literally just have to think about being pregnant and they can have a baby. That was messed up. That was messed up. I'm like, messed up. But yeah, so Sarah is pregnant. Even though Ava was going through all these donors, she had narrowed it down to her favorite 50s. It's actually Sarah who's knocked up, which is hilarious to me. All right, so on top of that, they're still trying to figure out how to save, Gwen, bring him back because he's dead. They have no idea how they're going to do it. So they kind of butt heads with Gideon. Gideon's kind of drunken the evil Gideon's Kool-Aid. She comes off as being a bitch. Astrid is like offended because, Astrid feels like her mother, and she's all like, I used to, I managed to convince myself that you're human. I guess I was wrong. Because, Astrid, she knows where to go to get you when she's pissed. She goes for the belt. She's a dirty fighter. And of course, Spooner comes up and says, are you okay? And, basically pep talks her and says, no, I know Gideon's conflicted. Let's go talk to her. Those are my BFFs. I'm so happy that the girls are talking together. Because I hate the tropes of when you're in a relationship, you just throw your really close friendship to the side. So I did love the fact that her and Spooner are, still really, really close and BFFs. So long story short, they do basically get through to Gideon. And they take on evil Gideon, and she becomes human. She made a body in a lab, not human. She becomes, she has a physical form. She makes a body in the lab. She tried to convince Gideon to upload herself in it so she can just be an emotionless robot, basically, that she can control. But instead, she downloaded her consciousness to it, and she was about to take them out. Gideon, in order to, she can't hurt Gideon, the other Gideon, she decided to hit the computer console, making that a cloaking device disappeared. So everybody in 1916 could see the ship, which is impossible because they shouldn't have that technology back then, which means she created an anomaly, and that anomaly was evil Gideon. And by doing that, Gideon decides to fly off and self-destruct with the ship and the girls on it. And of course, Gideon was like, I guess I didn't really think that through. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sad from a computer. But considering how logical Gideon should be, it's really funny that her human version of herself is not. The cool kick-ass part of that, though, is that I don't know what was happening. I know Scarlet Witch is not part of this universe, but how Astra looked like effing Scarlet Witch. That ship blew up and she was holding, like, she put a red force field around them and she was picking pieces and putting that ship back together. Astra has leveled up magic-wise, and I'm here for it. I think that was very, very cool. I love that scene. I thought it was amazing. I love the part where they're trying to go through time and Gwen gets to see that he wasn't a coward. He did stay with somebody when they were dying and he didn't have recollection of it. I want to know what that's about. Maybe that really did happen and something changed, altered his memory. I don't know. But he did end up, holding a soldier while he died and talking to Mantra and talking to him and things, and he didn't run away. So I don't know how that's going to affect him later on. It's also interesting when they meet Booster Gold. And yes, we're going to talk about Booster Gold in a second. When they meet Booster Gold, it just goes by Mike and is the fixer of this time period originally. And he's like playing golf and stuff, playing music, channeling his best peacemaker self. And he goes around, he's funny as shit. He's a guy from, what's the name of that show? Scrubs, the actor from Scrubs, who I thought was really funny. So he basically, when they're trying to make a deal and they're trying to figure out how to save, Alan and replace Alan's body with this like robot copy, the whole playing with the timeline, fixing time stuff, all of that stuff comes into play. And to me, all that stuff, it's not that it wasn't necessary. It was just interesting because it led to something that I did not want to happen in this series, and it did. And I don't know. I'm in my feelings about this because I really like this character, and they've already done this to me once with Ray, the whole Ray and Norma departure, but especially with Ray. Nathan's gone. Nathan. He sacrificed not only his self, he no longer is still he went to go save Alan's life, and he gets hit by mustard gas and it dissipates the remaining part of his steel skin, outer layer or steel layer. So he no longer has superpowers, but he legit decided to go with Zari and live in the totem, and Zari 2.0 gave him her totem. I don't know if she did that so he can come back and occasionally do guest appearances, because Mick is supposed to be doing that, but we haven't seen Mick in forever. I don't know where Rory is, so I'm hoping they don't do the same thing with Nate. But I mean, I didn't know he was leaving the show. But Nate is no longer going to be on Legends of Tomorrow. And I am super sad about this, guys. I am sad about it. Like, what the hell, So that threw me for a loop. And they did have like the whole revelation about Mike being Booster Gold. And Booster Gold in the comics, he acts just like that. That tracks. There'll probably some people are like, well, he's not black in the comics. But I mean, come on. Just stop. I do like his portrayal of Booster Gold. He has the attitude down, the wishy-washiness, the smart-assness, the I will work for money. He needs to be doing that. I work for profit or for myself or for fame. He more in this one is pissed because they sent him as a fixer to a time period as a joke, because if time travelers came there, it was basically forming a paradox. And so what the hell is he there protecting a timeline as a paradox in the first place? And I thought that was really funny. And when Gwen pointed that out, he's like, they sent me here as a damn joke. So that I'm on board with him. It's interesting though, because he got arrested while trying to steal the Wave Rider in the episode. And then when they all get on the Wave Rider, they all got arrested at the end. And I love the collective sigh, like, here you fucking go again. I love Legends. Legends is so goofy. It's insane. There's not really, I always feel like the plot of the show doesn't really matter. It's all about how they react to it. And I think that's why I like the show. It's not something you have to think about. It's just something that is. Like Sarah's reaction to the Wave Rider being stolen was having a mood swing, and she's like, everything's wrong, I don't care, I can't handle it anymore. And she just walks away, and Ava's like, what the fuck? I think that whole scene with Sarah losing her little stuff is funny. Her not being invulnerable and it going to the baby, meaning she could die or get hurt, is interesting concept, especially now that they're being arrested. So, yeah, there was a lot going on. But at the same time, I mean, Alan's alive. He's on the Wave Rider, so they're all together. But poor Alan, his first time travel experience is being arrested by time cops, basically. I'm hoping this means we're going to see Rip Hunter. I really hope he's going to come back and we're going to see him if they get season 8. I don't know if season 8 is even, announced. I don't think they've said they're having a season 8 because it almost felt like a series finale in a way. And with Sarah being pregnant and Ava, how's that going to work with them on the Wave Rider with a child? I don't know how it's going to work. So I don't know. There's a lot to think about, lots of question marks, but honestly, outside of them being arrested, they kind of like ended the show in a way. And I don't know how I feel about that. I feel kind of in my feelings in a sense. So yeah, that is a thing. And yeah, so I guess we just have to wait and see if we get a season 8, and then potentially maybe we'll see if Rip Hunter is going to be something that we see in that next season. Because I mean, it makes sense, especially if they decide season 8 is the last season. It'll be a good homage to the person that started the entire Legends to finish it out, and then maybe we can get Ray back and maybe have Mick come back as well. I think that would be very, very cool. But it's a thing. And I see you guys' questions, guys. I will answer it as soon as we're done, because right now we're about to start the last ever episode of Batwoman on this channel. Yes, you are going to get a Batwoman video about how I would have introduced her and how I would have fixed this damn show. But this is the last time I will talk about an episode of Batwoman on this show. This is it. So mark your calendars today, guys, on March 5th, 2022. Approach the Nerd has given her last Batwoman review ever on her channel. Here we go. Where to start, shall we? So Marcus is basically trying to kill everybody in Gotham because we get a flashback. It starts with like Joker on the bus, and right before he buzzes him, he whispers in little Marcus's ear and then zaps him, because basically Marcus was a fail-safe plan for the Joker. So if something happened, the Joker couldn't carry out his plan, then little baby Marcus that he made cray-cray would carry on when he grew up and live out the plan. Unfortunately, Joker supposedly died. I mean, that's what Luke hinted to Kate Kane back in season 1, that the reason that Bruce Wayne left is because he killed the Joker. And I guess just like in the comic books, basically by him killing the darkness, he became the darkness, or he believed he became the darkness. Who the hell knows? I don't know. So Marcus, he goes to this like warehouse, and he's like, it's just where you said it was. Now, remember that Alice already gave Marcus the keys to the Batcave. So he knew everything. He knew where the Batcave was. He knew where all the gadgets were. You would think that he would use that to his advantage in a lot of different ways. But apparently, again, the writing on this show, no, that's not what was going to happen. So instead, he concocts this plan that he's going to take a lot of the the acid bombs, Joker's acid bombs, basically. And he was going to lure everybody out in Gotham, which he does. And why in the hell all of Gotham decided to come out in the middle of the night? Because he said he was going to reveal Batwoman's identity. Like, you couldn't sit at home and watch it on your TV. Why'd you have to come out into dangerous Gotham streets? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Where he planned to melt you. He planned to melt half the city down with acid bombs. That was his major plan. And how was he going to do this? By using a bat blimp. I can't make this shit up. Where in the hell has this bat blimp been all this damn time? Where has the bat blimp been? I mean, Luke didn't know the Batmobile was in the freaking Batcave. But you knew where the bat blimp was? How effective would the bat blimp have been in a lot of different life and death scenarios throughout the past 3 seasons? But you fucking now talk about a damn bat blimp? I can't. I cannot. So yeah, he's going to use the bat blimp to spray acid on everybody in Gotham. But it's okay because they got plans, man. They got some plans. And I'm going to get to Alice in a minute. We'll talk about her. She's going to be separate because I got some stuff to say. So basically, Jada, who has all this access to all this technology, she's like, hey, you trying to help save the city and try and find Marcus? Well, let me get you some high-tech shit with quantum computers and stuff. Because I know you were using Windows 95 in the barn, in the bar. Now, why she didn't do this before, who the hell knows? But Jada Jet, she on it. So she gets this quantum computer and she starts talking to Luke and, basically implying that she had a very interesting and close relationship with Luke's daddy. I don't know if anybody caught that, but I have a feeling that Luke and effing Ryan are half siblings. And that is really damn sad because it's just how she was talking about him. And the only other option right now that I feel like would be Ryan's daddy would be Diggle, and that would be gross. And age-wise, I don't know if that would track. I don't know. It could. She's supposed to be in her 20s. I think he's in his 40s, late 40s. So it could. But I do not want her to be Diggle's kid. And so if we're going to have some real drama in the Bat family, Luke finding out that daddy wasn't faithful and was screwing Jada Jet and had a baby, that's a whole different can of worms. But yeah, she kind of told on herself a little bit. I don't know if that's going to play out in season 4 because I ain't fucking watching it. But I just wanted to say that is a possibility. Throwing it out there. All right. So, and I know I'm watching people unsubscribe right now. I'm just telling you, I know what's going to happen. So the plan is simple. They're going to use a joy buzzer to zap Marcus in the head. And they're going to infiltrate the Bat blimp and shut shit down, basically. Redirect it to the ocean if they can't. Whatever. Of course, the best laid plans never go, according to plan, especially in this damn show. So one of the things that happens is Mary goes and visits Alice in, Arkham, and they're having a moment. And, Alice tried to zap herself in the head. She literally tried to zap herself in the head to stop from having all this pain and all this, suffering and all of this shit. And, Mary was going to send her to Switzerland to this child trauma-like retreat. But of course, it's a sanatorium, which means more padded rooms. And I mean, why do you keep sending somebody who was held prisoner in a fucking room for 11 years with a madman and abused to places that have padded rooms? Don't make any damn sense. How do you fix a problem with a problem? So, she's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in another damn room. So Mary goes to Team Bat and says, I have a voice. You said I have a voice on this team, unless you were whole ass lying. And I want to save Alice. And of course, Sophie is like, she killed your mom. And she's like, you think I don't effing know that bitch? I know what she did. I was there. I'm like, I love it. Hello? I know when Alice first saw you, she flung you off the damn building. I mean, quite frankly, whatever. What's interesting to me is that they kept saying Alice made her own bed. Marcus was made by Joker. And I'm like, you fucking kidding me right now. Again, tortured as a child, tortured again, are brainwashed by Sophia. But Alice made her own bed. So I guess in their little pea brain minds, childhood trauma, abuse, all that stuff doesn't apply if you like the person or don't like the person, should I say. It only applies if you like the person, or in this case, it's Ryan's brother. So him being zapped by a buzzard in his head is a lot worse than being tortured, having a kitten killed in front of you, being forced to make flesh, faces, by the guy who's basically keeping you hostage, keeping you locked in a room with one book for years, and then introducing you to his mother who abuses you by pouring hot water on your hands and all kinds of shit, finding your mother's head in the freezer, finally getting released, being shipped off to an island to learn to fight, falling in love, and then being punished for it by being brainwashed because the woman that was into you got pissed and jealous. That absolutely is all the bed that Alice made for herself. This show is fucking stupid. I'm sorry. And then this is where my feelings come in, okay? So then Ryan decides to go talk to Alice to prove, basically because Mary wanted her to do it. So she was like, I'm just coming here for my BFF, and to see, why do you think you deserve the buzzer and blah, blah, blah. And what got on my nerves is, yes, Alice had to basically give her information and let her know what Marcus was doing because he had a boy or man crush on Joker in exchange for the buzzer. But then here comes Ryan, who has never showed one morsel of like empathy or anything for Alice, saying, we both know that you can do it, Alice. If anybody could survive all of this, it is you. That is so out of fucking character. It is ridiculous. And it was only put there so that Alice could come there later on and, basically save the day and give Ryan back that damn joy buzzer. That is why that scene happened. It was forced. It was fake. It was not believable. And it was full of shit. So I'm like, whatevs. But yeah, so she initially gives her the joy buzzer, and then Ryan and them go off to do their plan. And of course, what's very, very interesting to me is that Ryan just does shit without thinking it through. I mean, it's very much the motif for most characters in the Arrowverse. So she decides, even though they can't control, do anything with the controls, they can't overtake, the devices or do anything to stop the bat blimp, which I'm still not over, from doing its stuff, that she's going to confront Marcus on her own. And she's like, just wish me luck. So she gets up there. They get into it. Eventually, she does start beating the hell out of him. And she's like, give me my brother back. And, in my mind, I'm like, you've known your brother for 8.5 minutes. You don't have that bond. He don't know you. He does not know you. You do not know him. Your whole relationship to this point has been a condition of him showing mama that he's not weak. A condition of him showing mama that he can run a company. Like, literally, your brother manipulated you from the moment he met you. But yeah, give me my brother back. And like going to Jada when she gave Alice the buzzer and saying, oh, I want to get our family back. What's this our family? You weren't raised with them. You weren't raised with them. I don't understand that. I do not understand that. So the whole Alice did call out something for me that rings true about Ryan's character. Ryan 100% is so desperate to have a damn family, she will accept anything. And so she's like inserting herself into this family now that technically biologically is hers. That is her half brother. That is her mama. But I mean, really? Your brother knocked his pushed his biological father down the damn stairs and killed him. But it's okay because the Joker made him do it with a buzzer. So Marcus is supposed to be this great person that Ryan's never met because she has no connection to this fucking family. So I'm so let me change gears for a second, okay? The scene where she's beating the hell out of her brother proves to me that Ryan should definitely not be a superhero. Let me tell you why. She's an idiot. Literally got up, stood in front of a fucking window of this blimp in perfect position for him to kick her ass out of it. Helped him up off the ground and he kicked her out of that damn window. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, tracks 100% because you're an idiot. And something else I thought was really interesting. This is a little nugget of what the hellness. So Sophie's like, I can't lose you, Ryan. We've been dating for 5 days. But Ryan said that she's not going to die because Sophie has not bought her dinner yet. How in the hell is Sophie going to pay for her? I've been saying this from day one. With what money is Sophie buying her dinner? That is the biggest mystery of Batwoman for me. How does Sophie live? How does she pay her rent, her electric, her car, her insurance? And how the hell is she taking Ryan anywhere with no money? I mean, Ryan, your mama's loaded. You need to be taking her ass out for meals. not the other way around. Why are you trying to get the girl with no cash, who's living off credit cards probably, to take you to dinner? That's bullshit. That is absolute bullshit and stupid. So that was dumb. But yeah, but long story short, they were able to, they were on the roof and they were fighting, and basically Batwoman and Marcus both were falling over. Alice is the one that caught her, grabbed her back up, pulled her off the roof. Now remember, this is something that happened in what? Season 3. She saved Ryan's ass because Kate was about to kill her ass when Kate was under, Black Mask's control. So I really feel like if Alice had not saved Ryan in season 3, we wouldn't have had to deal with this shit in season 4. And this is coming from a POC queer woman. This has nothing to do with queerness, nothing to do with being a POC. It's all to do with stupid writing and characters that are written poorly. Alice saved her ass again. And the only difference is Ryan didn't put her back in Arkham. That's literally the only difference. We see Alice deciding to, for some reason, listen to Ryan's words. She has her dark hair again, so she's Beth. She left a note for Mary, and she's off to find herself. Does that mean she's leaving the show? I don't know. Will I know? I will not know because I'm watching the damn show season 4. But Alice saved their ass. Jada gave Ryan the credit for it. But let's be clear. The only thing that Ryan did was take the buzzer that Alice put in her hand when she pulled her up and zapped her. If Alice had not been there, once again, Batwoman's ass would be screwed. So who really saved the day? Alice. I'm just saying. I mean, I can't. It's just the writing, guys. I'll make this shit up. It's just the damn writing. The very last scene, after you see Martha Wayne's pearls being put back in the case, and they're talking about still working because they did say one true thing: we can't have a day off and celebrate. We live in Gotham. It's like the Arrowverse hood. There's no such thing as a crime-free day. So there's that. We saw a reporter. It's the same reporter we saw at the beginning who was like covering the story. You see kind of like the little fallout in part of the area. And then you see what looks like a type of skeleton creature that's attacking them. Now, when I looked it up this morning, some people are thinking that it's Dr. Death, but there is a character named Skeleton who has issues with Bruce Wayne in the DC comics. So my money's on Skeleton, but again, it won't really matter because I'm not watching season 4, so I don't care if I'm right or wrong, but it's just, I think that it's probably Skeleton. But I'm just heavily not invested. So I don't care. I really don't care. Marcus waking up in Mary's clinic saying, I know one thing. I need my little sister. Do I believe that he is 100% back? Probably not. More than likely, he probably is just pretending. We don't know what the zap actually does. We don't know that it actually reverted him back. That's a theory they had. They didn't test it on anything. So we have no idea. They're just like, if one thing zaps you, then obviously the other one will zap you back. That does not mean anything. So he could just be playing it off and pretending, biding his time until he can start doing it all over again. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting if he does revert back to being the Joker, but it's what it is. It is what it is. And again, I'll probably have you guys putting comments in our future Arrowverse stuff because I won't be watching this show. But that's pretty much how I will know about it because I'm not watching it. I'm not DVRing it. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. So I am officially, after this video I post how I would have introduced Batwoman basically gets put into play. Are posted on the channel. I will no longer do this at all. So it's a thing. All right. So that is that's all I got to say about that damn show. I'm done. I'm so happy. You guys do not know how happy I am right now. I'm going to go see the Batman tonight at the drive-in, and I think I'm more excited that I never have to talk about Batwoman ever again. And it's making me extremely ecstatic. All right, so let me roll up to the top. I know you guys have questions. So let's see here. Okay. Trying to scroll all the way. I see Girl Boss, you had a few things. They have Booster Gold, a Legend of Tomorrow season finale. Yes, they did. They introduced Booster Gold. You know what? I'm not mad at it. I just don't know if we're going to get season 8. So that is the thing. I don't like the ending when he got arrested, when they got arrested. Yeah. But I mean, I love their reaction. They were just like, oh. Like, taking a shit. And they left us with a cliffhanger. I mean, all season finales mostly leave you, all good season finales leave you with a cliffhanger. Sending out good vibes and the rest of the chat. Thank you, Latino. Hello, D. Marie. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing? Yeah, you sympathize for John because he has no powers and wants to be included. Yeah, they treat him like the child that shouldn't be. It's just really weird. Lois gets more respect than her son does. But I mean, if I had 2 kids, I would never treat one better than the other because they were more like me. And that is what Clark failed at. He didn't take his other son to the Fortress of Solitude. He didn't show him the family history. He didn't get to meet Jarrell. It almost became like this elitist thing. It's like, you can only be my dad when we're having human time, but when we're having Kryptonian time, then, I have to exclude you. It's just me and Jordan. That is not right. You don't do that with kids. So, and I said that in season 1. I thought that was really stupid. So that's his fault. This Lois has issues. She sure as hell does. I don't know what it is. Something wrong. This family needs a therapist. I think, I'm telling you, Linda on Lucifer needs to be on call. They should actually go to this actress and be like, can you do some couch sits? Because, like, these people cray. I'm like, they need you. Like, it's sad when the devil and God actually, are easier clients than the people on the Arrowverse. That's pretty sad. Who cleans the Kent house and prepares their meals is all done through the magic of BIS, plot-induced stupidity. Amen. Yeah, the Lane family needs all the therapy. Yep. Moving on is so good for Lana. I like that scene, that little empowering scene. I'm like, to the left, to the left. She was just like walking. And I thought to myself, Kyle's going to do something. But it does leave a question mark that I didn't think about till right now. Is she still going to run for mayor? Like, is that over? Did that asshole win? Because he was really the reason that all that technically Kyle told on himself, but I mean, he would have told anyway. So what's going to happen with the election? Because that guy needs to go. So just curious. So Booster Gold is black now. Does that mean Rip Hunter is too? I don't think they ever introduced Booster Gold in the Legends. So, I mean, they did in Smallville, but that's a different universe. So technically speaking, it should be the same Rip Hunter. See, I knew Lana was going to ask Kyle to leave, which in my opinion is hypocritical because of what she told Sarah. I can kind of see that in a way, but also Sarah cheated a little bit too on Jonathan. I'm sorry, on Jordan. She kissed somebody at camp and it was just kind of brushed over like it wasn't a huge deal. So, I mean, let's be clear. I've said this before, Kevin. I've said this in my Charm reviews. I said this in my Flash review. I've said this in all of my reviews. Cheating in the Arrowverse doesn't matter. This is the first time they've actually made a huge deal out of it. So, I mean, at least got to give them props for that because they normally don't. Just like, get over it. This week's Naomi was semi-exciting. Here's hoping again that the show picks up the pace I want. Yeah, I understand. I'm not hating the show. It's just so effing slow. And I feel like the focus is on the wrong stuff, but that's just me. Are Rip Hunter and Booster Gold related in the comics? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm really thinking back to some of the issues that I've read with Rip Hunter because I know a little bit more about Booster Gold than Rip Hunter. I don't think they're related. I think that Booster Gold just got really lucky with Future Tech and decided to exploit it because he is very narcissistic. His character is narcissistic. So yeah. And I know we throw around the term narcissistic. In reality, being selfish and being, full of yourself does not make you a narcissist. People don't understand that. Very rarely are people actual narcissists. But there are people that they fit almost the entire mold. And there have been times in the comics where Booster Gold has fit that entire mold of being a narcissist. It was almost like learned behavior narcissism. So Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they go with him. But I mean, I like this rendition of him. I think he's funny. So there's that. So I'm kind of excited on how that works. I know people are saying the situation with Kyle and Lana and Sarah and Jordan isn't the same, but cheating is still cheating. Oh, absolutely. We are on the same page with that. Ray says, hi, Ray. How are you? Yeah, Clark did not think that through at all. Yeah, that statement was like, I mean, it really depends on why she cheated on me. I'm like, what do you mean why? I'm like, there are no circumstances where that's okay. Dumb. I predict the Lang family split will affect Brightburn in an adverse way. I do too. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I think it's going to be cool. I need to see how far we're going to go with the twins. I will be pissed if it's just Lois and her feelings, making Jonathan feel like shit, him feeling, pretty much sorry that he did it and being very apologetic, feeling like he has to do something to prove himself worthy of his mother's love again. And all that shit's going to bother me. I hope they don't do that crap. I hope they actually see this for what it is. And it's a cry for effing help, because that is what it is. Anderson is annoying. He is no leader. Sam Lane is a better leader. Yeah, Sam needs to go back to work and stop meddling in Lois's family's life. As a matter of fact, I kind of feel like Sam did not help Jonathan's decision to start juicing by focusing more on one twin over the other. The jurors majority are here. Yeah, guys, I see there's a lot of people in here. That's cool. A lot of my regulars are in here from back in the beginnings of times. Okay, let's see here. It's too bad they don't have the DEO on this earth, or do they? I don't know. That's a very good question. Remember, they're supposed to be Prime Earth. So Superman and Lois, Supergirl, The Flash, Batwoman, I think that's it. I think those four. Black Lightning. Those 5 are all on the same Earth. And then Stargirl's on her own Earth. Naomi's on her own Earth. Legends isn't on any Earth. I mean, they're everywhere. So I don't know. I mean, they travel through time and space. I don't know if they travel through multiverses. So quite frankly, technically, they are still Prime Earth space travelers and time travelers, and not like from Earth 29 or whatever. So yeah, I think the only 2 that right now are Stargirl and Naomi. Those are the 2 shows that are not canon in the same Prime universe. So yeah, everybody else is on Earth 1. Little juror hammer. Kyle's cheating gene passed down to Sarah. I'm telling you, just like Marisol's passed down to everybody and all her 3 of her daughters in Charmed. So that makes sense. Also, if I was Morgan, I would be so smug right now. I would be too. I'd be like, hey, bro, what you doing? By the way, my bed's on the left. Okay, so Jordan is now the more grounded sibling because his family and girlfriend family is so effed up. Pause for the extremely low bar that has been set. This goes back to what I said about mental health. They don't treat mental health right. Like, I feel like, quite frankly, I've never understood this, but I feel like mental health issues are passing. They're not permanent things. They're temporary. And so even though Jordan has all these panic issues and all this stuff, the moment he got powers, it's almost like they went away. You have not seen him have one anxiety attack since then. And I don't understand that, because he is half human and psychology is a real thing. Mental health is a real thing. And so I feel like they brushed over it too quickly. We still see it with Sarah when she gets kind of weird or depressed. But we don't see it with Jordan. And yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. And the last 2 minutes of Batwoman was the Scarecrow or something else. I think that was Skeleton. I really do. But a lot of people are probably going to say, yes, Dr. Dead. I don't know why, but I think it's Skeleton. I love how we thought Jordan would be Brightburn, but now it's looking like it would be John. Yep. I thought the same thing. It is Scarecrow. I mean, it could be. It could be. I just think that because he looked like a skeleton, it looked like it had part of a skull face. I thought he looked a lot more like Skeleton to me. But I mean, that could also be, said that probably would say something about their wardrobe department. So, I mean, budget's low. I don't know. Jonathan is not the only genetically unempowered twin in the superhero dynasty, and his mother, Lois Lane, is the queen of superhero spouses in journalism, but his girlfriend is a drug dealer. I mean, like I said before, the main plot is super slow, but the side plots move at warp speed. Yep, we're going to look. Naomi's friends, their whole lives are going to be fleshed out before we even get anything about her. Because I was wondering who the hell that was in the last 2 minutes of Batwoman. It does look like Scarecrow, though. Okay. Is the Flash on the 9th or 8th? I think it's moving to Wednesday, right? Yeah, they're changing to Wednesday. So that, I don't know if they're next week though. They're either the 6th or the 13th, but I could have swore they're moving to Wednesday nights. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they are. The CW just has to add that flavor to their shows. Yep, absolutely. Plus, he was right to warn Naomi to stay away from Bell and Star Labs. I'm telling you, there's something. They're making Z. I feel like they're going to make him not be what he was in the comics. I don't know. I'm being my feelings about that. I really am. I'm all about male friendships. All about Jed and Ben on Legacies. I am so behind on Legacies. But yeah, I really think Anthony and Nathan would probably end up being very good friends, if not for Naomi, because they're both into her. The meta bar on Naomi reminded me of the one on the Flash. It seemed a little cooler, but we didn't get one in Freeland. Doesn't Freeland have more metas than Central City? It seems like they have more metas than everybody. So yeah, because of the green. They also had a bar like that in Supergirl too. So that's interesting. Sarah's reaction to getting pregnant and having Ava find out is so cute. Just glad with that ending next season. I really hope they get licensed for next season. If they get it renewed, I think that might be their last one though. I don't know. Because they were going in season 8. I don't know how many seasons. I mean, to be fair though, they could be trying to go for 10. I don't know. I could feel Nate's exit for this season, so was not surprised. Just wished it was not because of his power. I know. I want him back. Sarah pregnant. I honestly didn't see that coming. I wondered how Laurel 2.0 is going to react on the news. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Let's see here. This gives me early Charm days. Clearly, this was way better to write off. This was their way to write Nate off. Yeah, and I wonder if the actor knew that. That's what I want to know. I like the season finale, but given what Astra was able to do after the ship blew up, Astra should have been more of a threat to Robo Gideon. She should have been more of a threat to the Time people that came in. Like, we got Spooner pulling the rifle out, and, she should have been like, hold up, zap you all outside the thing and just take off. Should I watch this show? Which show? And How Are You, Magic Me? I did like the music that was playing when Booster Gold showed up. I love that song, and it just went out of my head. But that's why I referenced Peacemaker, because of the opening theme. Having Booster Gold come in there with that song was pretty funny. Wait, how did Sarah get pregnant? Through kissing. Ava kissed her a lot. Yep, as you said, Ava kissing her too damn much. And apparently they can, because she's a hybrid alien, the alien species, they just need to make out and think about being pregnant. So there you go. This felt like the last season on Legends. It really felt like that's what I thought was happening. It was weird. Because of Sarah's alien DNA, kissing Ava was enough to get her pregnant. Yep. I would hope, which is so funny because, when you're younger, you're like, oh, you kissed me, I'm pregnant. And that was such a thing. You see it in like so many movies and stuff. And then they actually went and did that. I thought that was funny. I would hope, though, in respect to the series, that they give us like the greatest hit and bring back fan favorites. They better. If they have one more season left, I want everybody back. Let's all give a sigh of relief for Maria's blood pressure. Yes. Yes. I'm so excited. I love Angry Kaide, Maria. You're just wrong, Ray. Laugh aloud. There's a bat blimp. What is this? The 60s. Intelligent question don't exist on Batwoman. The real question is, why did not leave the city in the first place? I mean, to be clear, I don't. That's a very good question, actually. When I saw the finale, I swear I was watching the show Gotham, where Joker was doing the same thing in Gotham. Well, they probably were. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, and what makes me nervous is the Charmed. So when they did their season 4, kind of like premiere type, kind of teaser for what's happening in this season, which it takes place 6 months later. One of the characters, or the new character coming in that's potentially going to be the new Charm one, she says she's been through a lot of stuff. She mentioned she went through cancer. She went through basically being left at a fire station. That's the same shit that happened with Ryan Wilder. And I'm like, they are not doing that. So I already was like, no. Like, no, we cannot have that. Like, I'm getting it in my feeling. Now, if that girl is living out of a van, I'm walking away. I'm walking away. I got rid of Batwoman. You can't make me get rid of Charm, too, because of the same confuckery. I can't handle it. Can we talk about the Batmobile, Batboat, Batjet, and Batcar? We don't have a Batcopter. We have a blimp. Like, that's what that is. Where are all of these things when we need them? Like, Bruce has assets. Where are they? Where's any of this shit? Like, I don't know. I love how comfortable Ryan is from saying, why is this covering my window in my office in my building? You don't own this. You are acting CEO, interim CEO. This is not your company. Your last name ain't Wayne. Like, if Bruce came back tomorrow, you don't have a job. Like, you'll be living right with Sophie in that damn van because she don't have any money either. Crazy. Alice left. I wonder where she's going. Hopefully to get the hell away from them. This show continues to be trash. Absolutely. But I'm telling you, I guarantee you will go on other reviewers' pages and that they're going to be like, this is the best shit ever. I'm so happy that they're writing this, the story, that everything is amazing. And I'm like, I don't know what they're watching. I don't know what they're watching. Alice is going to be a legend. I would love for Alice to be on Legends of Tomorrow. That would be amazing. All right. Can you imagine if she was on the Wave Rider? Yeah, no. She'd be like, so this person's messing up history. I'll just go kill him. I'm like, it is official that Alice will become a legend. It should be. I've never heard that, though. With Killer Frost can stay. I'm still wondering where her father is. Is he dead? Where is Jada's husband? Yeah. I mean, Marcus pushed him down the stairs. He tried to kill him first with peanuts because he is allergic to peanuts. And then he pushed him down the stairs. He killed his daddy. Honestly, this whole storyline of Ryan's family is a hot mess. Everything about Ryan's backstory has been a hot mess. From her introduction into this series is a hot mess. There were better ways of doing it, and I'm doing my video is almost completely done. So that's the last thing you will ever see from me on Batwoman. But at least I will review comic book Batwoman, but I will not review anything CW Arrowverse Batwoman ever again. I just will not do it. Why did the dad interrupt him in the final five of Fortnite? Because that is justified, because this should be crazy and high pressure. Ray, no, that is not a good reason for murder. Well, Maria, I guess you will have to wait till next season, me being funny, to find out what happened next. And I'll have to wait because I don't care. I do not care. There is nothing in my soul that's craving season 4. I'm sorry. It's just not. And don't forget that Alice and Marcus were at the same place at the same time when they were kids. Of course they were. Because her mom and Kate and her were in the car that literally caused them the bus caused them to have an accident. So that makes sense. If Macy's actress pops up in the Arrowverse on Batwoman, I mean, she wouldn't do that. Trust me, she wouldn't do that. I really just want Batwoman to have her defining pistols. Damn it, please. Now, of course, she's not. They're not going to give her any of her shit at all. You know that's not happening. Take a deep breath. I'm good. Look. I'm good. Maria, are you going to do Vox Machina? I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I have not had time to watch the rest of it. I've got so much to catch up on. I'm sorry. I'm always behind on everything. So that means it doesn't mean I'm not. It doesn't mean I have not gotten to it. I'm still behind on Space Force. I started Space Force season 2, but I still haven't finished it. It's just been this has been a rough week. Marcus is going to go to jail. He should, but he won't. He's not going to jail, even though everybody on TV saw that he was crazy. He's not going to jail. He's going to get off with extenuating circumstances because that's what they do. Well, I didn't even think of Skeleton. I'm telling you, I think it's Skeleton. No more natural disasters for Maria, please. Well, I mean, unfortunately, though, we are going more into storm season, so that could happen. Blurred and Maria are my super friends. JSA. Jordan is the active bispecies son, but he is like the only Kryptonian this man can be around on a daily basis. True that. Did you catch the season 2 premiere of Picard? I have not yet, but I am going to. So don't spoil it because I know I saw the trailers. I know what's happening, but I haven't watched it yet. Rich people don't go to jail. It will be a very light sentence, and if not, probation. No Booster Gold was released in Legends. It's the black guy from Scrubs. Yeah, it's from Scrubs. Booster Gold is in the Arrowverse as of the finale. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm here for it. I am here for it. Booster Gold in the Arrowverse was confirmed by showrunners last week. I knew he was coming. I just didn't know if it was going to be in the season finale. Booster Gold reminds me of Daffy Duck. I mean, that tracks. He acts like Daffy Duck, though. Or Darkwing. I like Daffy better. Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck is cool. What are we talking about? I can see that comparison too. I have seen some photos of Jonathan looking like a vigilante in a very Manchester black. Wow. That's interesting. Damn, all three of the Charm sisters were cheaters. Yep. It's weird how cheating is so common in fiction, but never polyamory. It seems like they're overlooking a number of storytelling possibilities. They did it in that show SWAT, but it didn't go down very well. Only thing I'm up for is Charm because it looks epic. I will say what I'm seeing right now looks cool. It just needs to stay that way. So it's a thing. Oh yeah, I was wondering if you saw the Charm season 4 featurette. Yep. Like I said, I have a video coming out on that. I actually recorded it and I'm editing it. So hopefully I can have it up before I leave for the movie. I have to be there at 7. So we'll see. Which means I'm about to end the stream in another 5 minutes. What's up with these dang fire stations? No wonder they are never on time when my wings be smoking up the joint. What's wrong with you? Did Sylvie just effective cause an end of universe event by killing he who remains? I mean, considering that's Marvel, though. Wouldn't it be messed up if all the events in Loki messed up the Arrowverse too? That would be funny. It would be a better idea than what happened in Crisis on Infinite Poop. I mean, CW does like to recycle ideas, so be warned. Yep, and clothes and all kinds of shit. I'm used to it. According to Amanda Waller in Prologue, Bruce was leaving his DNA all around Gotham so Ryan could be his daughter. No. Can't wait for Peacemaker season 2. Me either. I must say for this Batman movie, Patterson, when he is playing the Mutants in the trailer, I just see Edward. Like, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to have to suspend some stuff too, but we'll see. I mean, they did polyamory in Lost Girl. True. I want to see more Doom Patrol. I need to watch more Doom Patrol. I mean, it's sad, and I'm still like trying to play. I'm finally to the point where I can start watching Young Justice to where my lady Shiva is, but I'm scared they're gonna fuck her up. They probably didn't though. But you know, I'm getting my feelings. I'll be in my feelings. So we'll see. We will see. But okay, an hour and 32 minutes. Is it 32 or 22? I'm old. 22 minutes. 4 shows. Not bad. One show I never have to talk about again. So I'm super excited. I am really looking forward to the next season of Stargirl for sure. So that is making me excited. As for, you know, other DC properties, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to season 2 of Peacemaker. I'm also wanting to see what the other spin-off series is going to be from Suicide Squad, since James Gunn said he did another season. So, I mean, is it Ratcatcher? Who is it? So I want to know what a Ratcatcher 2, who is it? I'm not sure. So I would love to know who that's going to be. So that's going to be a thing. The Wonder Twins, I think would be very cool because I actually don't mind the Wonder Twins. There's a lot of things. I'm not really going to be 100% in tune with the Super Pets or whatever the series is called. It's just like, okay, whatever. But it could be cute. But yeah, like there's a lot of properties that I'm really looking forward to. Like I want to see Black Canary. I want to see Batgirl. I want to see all of the stuff that they have coming to HBO Max because I think it has potential to be really damn cool. Am I excited about Gotham Knights? Hell no. Am I excited about, and I'm going to watch Gotham Knights because I always give something 3 episodes. And I'll probably watch, I don't know, it's the Diggle show, something I don't know. I wasn't paying much attention, but he trains 5 metahumans to go to college undercover or some crap. Will I check that out? Yes, because I like Diggle's character. So I will give that 3 episodes and I'll probably review that one too. When it starts crossing into Batwoman's world, though, I will stop because I can't. I cannot do that. That means the writing's going to suck. So I don't want to deal with that. But outside of that, yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to. Even The Flash, even though Ezra Miller gives me the creeps, I'm still looking forward to seeing the movie and seeing how they do Flashpoint. And Michael Keaton's in it. So that's always a win for me. So there's that. But on tomorrow, I'm going to try and do my Bat the Batman movie review, since we are seeing it at 7. So I will let you know if I liked it, if I didn't like it, what I thought could be improved, blah, blah, blah. So you'll get all of that tomorrow from me. More than likely it'll be a video and not a live stream, but we'll see. We'll just see how tired I am. I do more live streams because I'm tired. There's less editing. So we will see. But also be on the lookout, because this week I am doing a season 4 Last Chance Charm Theory video. So that is definitely coming out, and I'm almost done editing my really short response to the season 4 kind of sneak peek that they just posted on the website. So that should be up hopefully in the next hour or so. So be on the lookout. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me for this Arrowverse weekly recap. If it is day for you, have a good day. If it is night for you, have a good night. And I will see you in my next stream and in my next video. Bye, guys.